How customer friendship can impact on your business. Should our customers be our friends? What impact will it have on our business? G'day YouTubers, Jeff from McPhee's Gardening, Melbourne, Australia. To be friendly to your customer or being a friend to your customer, I believe is two different things, and it can impact your business in two different ways. It's so important to be nice, we all realise that, and it's so important to be friendly. We have a sliding scale on our way we approach customers. Various operators may be strict, firm, not engaging in the customer to the full extent, but they still do the work, they get on with the job, waste no time. And you go to the other end of the scale and you're nice and you're polite and you're friendly, you want to be their friend, and what happens is you're a pushover. Got to have a balance of being friendly, but also a balance of being firm. So somewhere in the middle, that sliding scale is where I like to be, which I've learnt over the years. I've had a few hard lessons, and I'll go on to those shortly. But it's so important that you understand about being friendly and about being a friend. Because as I said before, it does impact your business. Now on that sliding scale that we was talking about, we have the friendship, the friendly, or being a friend. Now, that can cause problems, and I'll go into that in a little bit, a story that I had happen in the past, which really set my way onto deciding which way I should go. But the old story is, you probably had a friend that's asked you to do work, a mate. He said, listen, Jeff, can you come down and do some hedging for us? We really want it done, and please, we want to pay you. And you say, oh, look, I'll give you a price. No, we'll... we're quite happy for you to go ahead with it. So you do the job, but because of your friend, what do? We always go, I'll do it a bit cheaper because we don't want to upset them. And we say to them, well, look, normally may have cost, say, $800, and you'll say, look, I'll do it for $450. So you say to the friend, oh, $450. And they go, what? $450? We didn't think it was going to be that much. Seriously, are you sure? And then there's the problem. Because the expectation of what you thought it was worth, we know what it was worth, and what they were thinking are two different things. Should have said before I start, listen, Jack, it's going to cost you this much. It would have cost you $800 if you were a client. To you, it's $450. Then there wouldn't have been any problems. But because they were friends and because they insisted that they'll pay you, we've got a problem. The same thing goes if the customer is your friend. It's nice to have friends. But the thing is, what happens is when the customer says, oh, Jeff, can you sort of, do a little bit of extra work and, give us a price. Because it's a friend, or you think it's a friend, again, you go cheaper. And therefore, you're starting to reduce the amount of income that you're going to earn. So it's so important as a professional business is to be careful of the time that you're going to waste. And a lot of the time wasted with customers is talking. Now, I talk to a customer, hi, how are you? How's the family? But the purpose of talking is to what things I can upsell. Gee, Christine, those roses today, they're certainly looking in need of a good prune. I'll give you a price on that. So turn that conversation into something positive, something to upsell. Otherwise, you've got to get in and out, because if you allow 10, 15 minutes each customer and you've done, say, 10 customers in a day, that's a lot of unbillable hours that you've just wasted. And you have to be conscious. But again, you also have to be friendly. Not friends, but friendly. Because when a customer's a friend, I'll give you a story. When I started many years ago, and I learned a great lesson from this. I had this customer, he was a really great guy, and I always left his job to the last, because at the end of the day, he'd have a beer waiting for me. Did the lawn, sat down, had a beer, bit of a chat, talked about the world, solved the problems. It was really good. And this went on for a while. And then one day he said, oh, Jeff, you wouldn't have your secateurs on you. Can you just prune this rose, because the wife's been nagging for me to do it. Yeah, sure, I'll do that. 10 minutes, prune the rose. He picked all the stuff up and put it in the bin. Yep, no worries. I didn't charge him. It was okay. So the next time, oh, Jeff, the weeds are coming through the fence line. You wouldn't have a bit of poison or a bit of spray on board and just give you a quick spray. I'll give you a hand. I don't know how you're going to give you a hand in spray, but he said, I'll give you a hand. So I did it, and no charge. So finally, and this is where the crunch come down, the boom gate come down, Jeff got this hedge, and it was a long hedge, and I reckon it was probably an hour and a half work involved. And he said, oh, you wouldn't mind, I'll give you a hand, I'll rake and clean up behind you, and you just go with your cutters, and we'll do this in no time, extra beer for you at the end. And I said, I appreciate the extra beer at the end, but it's going to cost, mate. He said, what do you mean it's going to cost? I said, well, I can't do this for nothing. I said, all that stuff I've got to take to the tip, it's going to take me an hour and a half, but I'll help. Yes, but I've got to use my equipment to prune it, to hedge it, to make it look nice. So it's going to cost you. And looking at it, we're going to be looking up for about $350. Should have probably been a little bit more because it got back to that friend bit and reducing that price. Well, he just slumped. He said, you're kidding me, mate. He said, I'll give you a beer, I'll talk to you, I'll welcome you into my house. Mate, you're a client, right? But my fault, I treated him as a friend. And that's where I got into strife. And from then on, I made sure that a customer I'll be friendly to, but they won't be my friend because I'm not a charity. And I just got to the stage where, I'm going to have unbillable hours mounting up. Now, I said before, there's no such things as freebies. And generally, that's my rule. There's one exception, and that is for the ones elderly. In my earlier days, I had great delight in having a lot of ex-war veterans, and I always time my visit to do the lawn at about morning tea time because I know they come out with a cuppa, and I got great enjoyment by sitting down and talking to them, and they're telling the stories of the past, and it was just brilliant. It was just a privilege to actually listen to them talk, and I didn't mind that. I wasn't wasting time because I had to stop and have a rest and have a cup of tea somewhere. Why not have it with someone with so much more experience of life than what I had? And from time to time, the elderly, they'll come out and they've got this jar and they can't open it. Oh, can you open that, please? You do it. I've got a light globe. I can't get up on the ladder. Don't get up on the ladder. I'll do it. Get up on the ladder, change the light globe. And they turn around, what do we owe you? Nothing. It's free. Because if you can't help someone elderly, you've got to show some compassion in business. If someone fell over on the side of the road, would you just keep driving? No, you'd go back and you'd help. And it's the same people that do need help. We're not charity cases, I agree. But on the occasions, some compassion, and it makes the soul feel good to be able to help them out. I personally don't see a problem. As I say, I'm not doing it every day. I'm not doing it every hour of the day. It'll be once in a blue moon, but I will attend to that. So in conclusion, that very day, ever since that the customer offered me that free beer in one of those freebies, from that very day, and that was probably probably 30-something years ago now, I've maintained a philosophy is customers are not friends, but they are business friends. Because I can be friendly, respectful, but firm. So all my clients, I respect. I'm friendly towards, but I set boundaries so that I'm firm in that there's certain times that they ring. My office is open between 8:30 and 4 o'clock. Unless it's an emergency, I will not ring back. I will not reply to their needs until the next day, until it's during business hours. In business, when you get very busy, and the reason why we go into business is we've got to separate our personal family life from our business. The two can't meet together. We can't sacrifice one or the other. And that's why I did that purposely. I've been in an environment by my previous employment where my work took over my family. It was always work, day and night, calls 3 o'clock in the morning, all through the weekend. And I was never going to allow that to happen again. And that was one thing that guy did to me, is wake me up about that freebie. The other boundary I'll set, of course, is no freebies, within reason, of course. I mean, if someone wants a jam jar locked, or it's just something simple, of course you're going to do it. The other thing is to make sure that you respect each other. As soon as you lose that one way or the other, the contract's off. The other important thing is to keep the idle chattel to a minimum. Be polite, yes, how you going, how's the family, the kids well, that's great, see you later. Because we're going to keep that unbillable hour, we want to keep that to a minimum. The only time I'll talk longer to the client is to upsell. I mentioned before, the hedges need doing, or the rose bushes need cutting back, or be some other jobs. I can price that up for you. So whilst you're upselling, you can then introduce a little bit of friendly chatter as well. Lovely day. How's your husband going with his new job? But just little side comments, but focusing in on the upselling. I know it sounds hard, but you're running a business and you're not a charity. So it's important to understand the difference between a friend and between being friendly. There's one exception I mentioned before, the elderly. I'll do that little bit extra. I will do the freebies. I will do the idle chattel, because that's something I need to give back to the community. These people fought for our country and they deserve respect more so than anybody else. So that's the only reason I'll spend a little bit extra time on the elderly. I always said the elderly customers are always the best customers. Yes, I know they do waste a bit of time. Great payers. It's just always great payers. Fantastic customers. All right, girls and guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'd like to hear your comments, your views on it. You know, are you the, want to be a friend, or are you the friendly? Or are you the, straight down the line, in and out, let's go. Everybody's different. Everyone runs their business differently. That's the way I run mine. And for nearly 4 decades, it's worked out all right. And thanks again for watching. And don't forget to put that share button and subscribe if you haven't, which I've mentioned before. And as I say, comments and likes really helps the channel grow. The more likes and comments I get, the better the channel's going to get. And it provides me feedback to help me improve. See you later, girls and guys. Bye.